Good morning, everyone. Delighted to be able to record this short video. We're very sorry not to be with you during this amazing event talking about behaviour change. My name's Jo Hart. I'm a Professor of Health Professional Education at the University of Manchester in the UK, and my colleague and I work very closely with CPA. My colleague is Lucy Byrne-Davies, who's Professor of Health Psychology, and some of you will have come across us in lots of different ways, and we hope to continue working with you in the future. I'm just going to explain a little bit about what we do in our work with the CPA and other organisations, and then our colleagues who are with you today are going to show you a video of the work that we do to explain in a bit more detail.
As healthcare professionals go about their work, they do or don't do things that will lead to positive or negative outcomes for patients. Healthcare professionals take part in training throughout their careers. Training changes the capability of healthcare professionals. The competence and capability that a healthcare professional has will obviously influence how well they do vital tasks. However, being competent or capable is not the whole story. Evidence suggests that just because someone can do something, it doesn't mean that they will do it. Other than capability, what else do you suppose determines whether a healthcare professional does or does not do a particular task? There are many psychological determinants of practice, and it's helpful to think of these under the umbrella terms opportunity and motivation. Opportunity is physical opportunity, having time and resources, like equipment and other people to help. But it's also social opportunity, believing that other people think that what you are doing is the right thing to do. In this context, motivation is not general energy or enthusiasm. Motivation in this context means motivation about the specific task that the healthcare professional is doing. It can be understood as automatic and reflective. Reflective motivation is a weighing up of pros and cons. For example, will the task lead to better outcomes? Is the task easy or hard? Automatic motivation is being prompted to do something. For example, by your previous behaviours or habits, or by cues in the environment. If attempts to change healthcare professional practice are to be successful, it is crucial to understand what determines behaviours. There is no point having training to increase capability if the healthcare professionals are already capable, but things like opportunity or motivation are getting in their way. The good news is that there are techniques to help people overcome opportunity and motivation barriers, which, if added to training, could make practice change more likely. The Change Exchange is a Manchester implementation science collaboration project hosted by the University of Manchester. This work is funded by grants from the Tropical Health and Education Trust, with the Department for International Development and the Global Health Exchange.
So what we do with CPA is lead on providing behaviour change expertise and support and advice, and some of that is very specific and detailed in working with specific projects, and some of it is much more general in terms of providing advice on the education and training that comes through the CPA. One of the ways in which we work with CPA is to support teams in understanding health professional practice in teams. Thinking in terms of the behaviour, helping people to understand what needs to change, who needs to do what in order for change to occur, and really thinking through what the barriers and enablers are to behaviour change. The second way in which we work with CPA is helping people to learn how to have effective behaviour change conversations, and this is obviously often a really important part of behaviour change and enabling professional practice. So, for example, it might be something like a nurse or a pharmacist, training them in being able to talk to doctors about prescribing antimicrobials. The third way we work with CPA and other organisations is to help teams to understand what is changing by thinking about evaluation of that, so by thinking about evaluating behaviourally. And so what the behaviours are, so thinking about specifying target behaviours and thinking about the behavioural influences, measuring all of those and measuring how things have changed. We work in a number of different ways. We try to work practically, and we try to translate some quite complex behaviour change theories and methods into ways in which our expert colleagues at CPA and all of you as teams can understand. So one of the tools that we use is packs of cards. So we have packs of cards like this, and some of you will have come across these, called Cards for Change, and they contain behavioural change techniques which can be used in education and training. So that's a pack of cards, and as I say, some of you will have seen these, or you might be able to get hold of a pack of those cards from your colleagues through CPA or THET. Another way in which we work is by working much more broadly with educators, and we've documented those ways of working in a book called Training to Change Practice, written by myself, Lucy Davis, and two expert colleagues, Wendy Maltinsky and Ellen Bull. And this captures the way in which, for example, you can design education and training to have that behavioural focus to try and make that practice change much more likely. We really enjoy working with CPA, and we think that CPA are absolutely amazing in terms of thinking behaviourally and thinking about those concepts of behaviour change in embedding very real and very impactful behaviour change in all of the work that they do.